I've been waiting for this to stop. So, hi, welcome to my rene.2dream.ca video blog to become Prime Minister of Canada. That's what I want to say. And I also want to say, I brought quite possibly the healthiest drink that I have personally ever been able to find. And I just honestly wanted to say, sincerely, thank you. Thank you. Thank you that you've managed to bottle this for me. Thank you. And that I can buy it. And actually, this one costs under $5. Canadian, even. And it's the 1st of August, 2024 today. And no, that was not a paid advertisement by the company, nor am I endorsed in any way of saying that. And you know that because the label's backwards. If the label was like, if the money was involved, it would have had to be picture perfect. So therein is also my short. And then, these are ideas I've got right now. I was just in the shower, so this is actually what I wanted to say. So I just did 2 videos this today, and in this video, it's a video blog. So the idea came in the shower. First, it started with the name. First it was a sketch of the first video. The sketch of the first video was, fast forward, rewind. So the shower curtain is pushing in on me in the shower. An unusual amount. Like there was wind under the door or something. It was just pushing me against the wall. I was like, come on, give me some space. And I didn't want to touch it. Because when you touch the shower curtain, it gets like sticky and stuff like that. It's just, So I pick up the faucet and I said, I'm going to fight you with water if you don't back off. And then in my head, I'm thinking water, symbolic of the unconscious, fighting, unconscious push on wall. I was just under the water, back off. But these are like, so that was like the humor that got me into it. And then as I'm washing, scrubbing myself down under the shower, the curtain's still going in, right? And I'm going out. I'm looking at myself, I'm like, what's going on? Am I swinging? I'm dancing in the shower, like, what is, oh my God. So then I thought, even lawyers appreciate a good comedian. And a good comedian always opens his honest opening with a good joke, right? So the kicker is that consistency must apply to itself. So I was going to name the blog Con 1, Con 2, Con 3, number 2, dream.ca. And then I was not going to tell anybody what Con stood for. And then I was going to say, well, I'm having a prize. I will give away a free .2dream.ca name to anybody who can tell me correctly what Con means. And then I thought, well, that's a really beautiful advertisement, but, oh, God, I would really love to do that. Seriously. But when people first look they don't see the light behind it. They see, it's a VLOG number 2 dream.ca. I can remember that. Video log LOG. Just tuk 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 until he's blue in the face talking to birds. And so this is video number 1. Now in the description though, you will see video links to the past video log and possibly not the future video log. But anyway, you always have a past link to it. And I mean, if I really wanted to, at the very bottom one, I could keep it updated to the current one. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? So there's that suggestion out there. Anybody want to help me manage this? So I figured out a way that I can snake a video log trail through different websites because they keep tearing my videos down and I don't understand why. So, I mean, some of them, oh God, I had like legal beef against a homeless shelter in Vancouver. I was trying to make the place better. And YouTube tore it down. Yesterday, 2 days ago. 2 days ago. I had a post taken down from Facebook. No, yesterday. Just gone. Sorry, we object. What are you talking about? My writing, me, not hurting anybody. Creative. Not even using, like, racial, like, nothing. Anyway, so video logging is, it's neater. You get a whole body gestures. You can interpret and see, am I really angry? Am I building bombs in the background? Like, how many times do I shower? That's probably according to how many times do I smoke a bong, which I realized is also, by the way, probably associated with the number of times Muslims have to pray in a day, because the key point 1500 years ago, when the Muslim religion started, was to stay clean above all else while you're traveling, especially while you're traveling. And so they had it actually all figured out consistently with their environment. And then they wrote themselves down a neat little guide, and I think maybe their only mix-up was really just including some of the Christian parts. They might have been better off just leaving out the whole Christianity part, but that's not to make war with Christians. That's just because Christians are among the more wayward of the collective big guys flock. So in this sense, this video is actually going to be titled The Master Hypnotist, because to all you fabulous lawyers out there who've been practicing their case law and understand that a lawyer can hypnotize people, such as the one lawyer Michael did when he hypnotized 6 women who came to him to seek counseling after being divorced and left in ruins, and they wanted their money back, and he looked at them and said, money? I deal in money. You come right over here, honey. And then he did, and sure enough, the prosecutors had one of the witnesses wiretapped. Then they listened to it all, and they found him guilty of hypnotism, folks. See, that's the thing that psychiatrists can't explain. So, I'm not going to apologize for hypnotizing you. Nope, I'm not going to apologize for hypnotizing you. I am going to tell you that I am hypnotizing you into becoming a more productively organized, practical group of people who are not hell-bent on hurting each other, blaming each other, and destroying the common environment. So, that's what this video log is all about. And there's really no reason to call it con, not even to imply the word. So, and if you ever want to know where we are, you can just go to rene.2dream.ca. Because that's my Facebook page, and the whole purpose is really to run for Prime Minister of Canada, so that I can be on public TV, just be clear about this, in a national debate against the other Prime Ministers. Yes. And I did write this down somewhere already. It's already written. In any national debate on TV against any other Prime Minister of Canada candidate, once I am officially a Prime Minister of Canada candidate, which I am in the middle of doing, actually, if you want to go to vote.rene.2dream.ca. So, I will simply say to the other candidate, listen, I have reviewed and heard, and I believe truly in your ideas of betterment for Canada. Here's what I can offer you. I will offer you my unconditional partnership to see all of the ideas that are truly and beneficial to you and everybody else through as quickly as possible without delay. And you have my nomination as Prime Minister of Canada if you will nominate me to His or Her Majesty and Right of Canada the next time the position becomes open in Canada. You see, that position in Canada is called the Governor General's office, and the person that's sitting there is actually just a temporary appointee. I think it's an 8-year term, who's holding the office on behalf of the King or Queen of the United Kingdom, of which England is also a subset, but I think the primary, so they're like always the same, something like that. Anyway, the way that Canada is set up, the Prime Minister is actually just the number one of that boss. So I'm telling the guy on TV that, hey, let's be a team. And I'm telling that to everybody. So that doesn't mean that I'm running for Prime Minister. That means that I've found a way to become the Governor General of Canada according to the current rules and practice, which only require the Prime Minister to nominate his or her good friend or close acquaintance to the UK boss. when the position becomes open, so that there won't be any argument between the House and the guy who has the ability to fix the laws. Right now it's the House or the Senate or the combination of the two controlling the back room, and it should be the back room that has the sight to see when laws are consistent and inconsistent and when something needs to be fixed. So that's what the whole feud is about right now at HBP. We can think of it like Hewlett Bell Packard, HBP. But that's not what it stands for. But I do support Hewlett computers. I've used the laptops for a very large part of my life, and that's why the name came up. It's just, yeah, here's one to claim. I had a laptop, it lasted me 12 years, and it was from Hewlett Packard. Thank you. It was at 12 years. The laptop that I bought, when I had to replace it, because the only problem with that laptop was that the air in Taiwan was too dirty and it polluted the actual spinning fan that was inside the laptop. Otherwise, everything else was still working. So it was actually a physical part that broke when the laptop itself entered an environment where the air was more polluted than where it came from. So it wasn't even Hewlett Packard's fault. And it lasted me 12 years. And when the new laptop, when I bought that one, it was unfortunately a sideways, a little bit downgrade from the one that was 12 years old. So I have an appreciation for Hewlett Packard. Yeah, and speaking of appreciations, this video is possibly already too long. It was meant to just be an introduction. My goal, I guess, is to marry the island of Taiwan so that I can return to my wife there. She's, oh god, there's this whole long history with Taiwan that, okay, well, first the actual website for what's going on in Vancouver with the consistency of the law. That's HBP, Hitler Bell Proposal, rene.2dream.ca. And then my actual goal is to marry Taiwan, and that proposal is included in that, but the reasons for that are not directly, they are linked in there, of course, but and that is the reason why this whole thing has now come up. The two doctors in Vancouver, rather than investigate the police statements from two corrupt police officers that I had encountered on June 16th, 2024 at the Sandman Hotel, 180 West Georgia Street in downtown Vancouver. Paul Bannis is the director's name. The two undercover police officers there. Not undercover. They were not undercover. They were actually closed. They were dispatched police officers, but not by the 911 call that I had made the day earlier. So I had called 911 on the 15th of June. I gotta say it. I gotta tell my story, right? On the 15th of June, 2024. Yeah, I gotta tell it. I gotta tell my story. I'm sorry, guys. How can I keep it short? All right, so I called the 911 there at 10:53 a.m. from my hotel room, and then it was about an incident that had occurred at the hotel in the lobby of the North Tower at 10:55 a.m. the previous day on the 14th of July, where there were two handlers who were escorting a prostitute out of the hotel, and the prostitute was not the same as the handlers were escorting the previous day. And the one that they escorted the previous day, this is the one that had the track marks, the cigarette marks she had on her arm, really long track marks. Like she was just sitting cross-armed and then burning herself while she's smoking her. Like she's doing that. That's the picture I got in my head. And she's like this in the elevator, and she's wearing a push-up bra, and I think she's got one of these chokers that like 15, 16-year-old girls wear. Like she is not looking of age at all. She's not looking of age. And I mean, okay, so the guy's normal reaction when they see a half-naked woman in a dress that's barely covering her underwear and super tight and hot pink on top of it, is usually to say, "Oh my God, you're hot! Wow!" I mean, like, I'm a guy. I've had those thoughts, but My only thought when I saw that picture, because she was with two handlers that were plain clothed and did not look like they were going to be taking ecstasy and partying all night. So, and ecstasy, by the way, is not a party drug. No. Oh my God, no. That is a really bad physical poison. Really bad. Don't do that. Really, don't do that. Not necessary. And then, really not necessary. Then, I'm speechless. That was all I could say. And so then I moved to the corner of the elevator, and I just kind of put my nose in the corner of the elevator so that I didn't see them and they didn't see me. But I saw before I moved there that they had pushed the M button on the elevator. This was now the afternoon of the 13th of June, 2024, in the North Tower, 11th floor. They had gotten on because my hotel room was 1107. So after we did the elevator shuffle, which is everybody takes one step kind of to the right, and then the girls realign themselves so that they push her into the corner and block her off from me in the elevator. The M door was the door that I was now in the corner facing, so I had to move from that on the way down. So I apologized to them and I said, "You're getting out the rear door, the maid's exit to the laundry." So then I moved to the other corner and I put my nose in the door there and just waited, and then they got off. And then I didn't see those guards again. In fairness, so little weird things happen in my life, and then I heard some loud noise and stuff like that out in my hall at some point, but I didn't look, and I don't know who they were, but it was just like, if you're going to be loud in my environment, I'm going to be loud back. And I just happened to be listening to a song, and the song just happened to be "Oh My Cheerleader." So I was just singing along cheerleader because it always reminds me of Lindsay, and Lindsay, of course, is the person who's permanently tied to me, who is also the person that I'm trying to get back to in Taiwan. So just trying to push all the other thoughts out of my head, really just focus on Lindsay. Anyway, what we were talking about was the girl in the elevator being hustled out the back door, and I had not at all met these other bodyguards again. So on the 14th, when the lobby doors opened and they came out of the elevator, and the one girl turned around and she said, "If you ever talk to my friend," or something, I don't know what she said, but there was definitely, so the definition of criminal harassment, I learned, is simply to cause somebody to have an unreasonable fear of harm, fear for safety, or sorry, not unreasonable, to have reasonable fear for safety. So this like handler, bodyguard, threatening me like that. Bodyguard, but not for the person, for the other person who's renting the person. Does that make sense? That's what a handler is. So, so I tried to report that then to the manager, and then I called police on the 14th in the afternoon around 2:10. I was on the call with Vancouver non-emergency line, 14th of June, and then the 15th. So the response I had received from the hotel managers on my level, because I'd been staying there for so long already, I'd already been there for 15 nights at that point, and I was just paying by the day because we had credit card issues with the limit at the bank. Money was in the account, but I couldn't use it. And that was after the first phone call that Gravinda, the names start to wander after a time, I guess. That after Gravinda, I had met Gravinda there on the 30th of May in the afternoon, maybe around 5. It was her shift as the afternoon duty manager, which began at 3:30 or 4, I believe. And she helped to sign me in despite the fact I didn't have a credit card, and that's not her fault at all. I was sincerely pleading out of the bottom of my heart. And that was the 5th hotel I had already walked to. I was walking away from a homeless shelter that had been abusing its patrons, and there's an open argument there. I'm still waiting to hear from James at the Vancouver Vatican Church about that. Something about $1,000 a day, I think. And then, yeah, well, it's a hell of an introductory video, I know. So, we were talking about Gravinda there, so she signed me up, and then I was there 15 days, and then after 15 days, I kind of, sort of ran into this, whatever I call it, or whatever you guys call it. I think you guys call it like a human sex trafficking ring, but you never really show pictures of that when you just say the word on the news, so it's kind of hard to judge when you're seeing it like live action in real time, and it's just like, oh my god, is this really happening in front of me? Like, oh my god. So then, of course the director knows what's going on. So as soon as he finds out that there's a guy that's already been calling the police about this super guest that's been calling underage girls to his hotel room in order to have sex whenever he wants, so that he doesn't have to worry about leaving the room, on the 11th floor of the North Tower, the night of the 13th of June, 2024, at the Salmon Hotel, 180 West Georgia Street in Vancouver. Oh, it was also, the manager didn't want to give me any of the footage of the hotel elevator area when I wanted to press the charges of criminal harassment against the two bodybuilders against me. She said, no, don't use our footage. Use yours. And I got that on video too, so don't even begin to talk to me about recording rights, okay? So Mr. Paul Bannis then sent me this wonderful fully public email. Timestamp 10:02 a.m. on the 15th of June 2024. Boom. And then he had his hotel room goon to deliver a hand-signed copy to the door. Hey, thanks, bub. So I was able to show it to them, police officers, as they were kicking me out on the 16th of June. Now, I called the emergency line on the 15th of June about this and about my situation of being unlawfully accused of crime in that email from Paul Bannis. And on those grounds, I barricaded myself right into the room and I said, hey, you know what? I'm not going to stress about this. I'm going to move every piece of object in this room and put it in front of the door. And by the time all that was done, there was no way anybody was getting through that door. So then I had a good night's sleep, even though he'd turn off the power. Then, in the morning, I had time for a last little quick note. And I emailed it to him and all the Vancouver City councillors, and I said, hey, you know what, though? I'm a previously insane person, and I'm sitting barricaded inside a hotel room right now looking at two choices. There's a fire alarm, and there's the sprinkler. I think I can use that fire alarm there to trigger the sprinkler with my bong and ask the fire trucks to carry me out of the 11th floor window so that we can get the news involved sooner rather than later. Oh man, did that guy fucking react. Maybe I should have let them break the door down. Oh fuck, I should have let them break the door down. Hey Paul, I fucked up. How's that? I should have let them break the fucking door down. Oh my god, because it took me a fucking half an hour to move all of that stuff from behind your door. And now you're crying about seeing your name in print, my friend? Consider that a reflection. Except in this case, Paul. What exactly went on there? And what was the need for the email, hey? You can answer those questions. And then, well, maybe he's my living witness. Who the fuck knows? I don't know how this works, and I've already sworn. And my mother got really angry at me when she heard the swearing earlier, the other day by accident. I'm very sorry about that, but it definitely is a way for us to show that we're really, dead serious with each other. Because it's usually an expression of anger, and we usually associate anger with all of the evils of the world. So to use it consciously, especially in eloquent colloquial text such as this, which really was intended to be a really polite opening, hi, I'm the future, whatever, master hypnotist. Maybe just keep the phone out of the sun, because then you're not going to burn it. And definitely don't look at the sun, because that's part of your physical environment and that can do seriously destructive damages to you, and there's some serious misconception about that. And then there's I really miss Lindsay in Taiwan. I want to get back to her. Oh, there's the whole Taiwan thing. Oh, the US is using oh god. Okay, well anyway, it's in the email that you really need to read. It's in the one that the psychiatrist didn't want to read. It's in the one that just kind of summarizes everything I just said. And it's probably going to be the one that I'm going to just Yeah. Well, I've got a standard format for this vlog through the internet already, so the links will be in the description of the video, and then this video link will be referenced in the next one, no matter where I place it on whichever app or something like that. So if one falls, just let me know in any comment, and then I can replace it anywhere, and then I won't have the issues of idiot companies that are trying to stop a very consistent story that's going to end up taking over the whole news agenda. Like, this is a news event. This isn't just a news story. Anyway, you really want to read the email 28 JUN. So it's 5 characters, right? 5. 28 JUN.2dream.ca. And then when you're all done that, my solution is to marry Taiwan. And that's that. You've already got the web link, but you can have another one. Proposal.2dream.ca. It's the same as HEP.2dream.ca. Also at wedding.2dream.ca. So I'm going to marry the island there, and that might have been the story that was foretold in the book of Revelation, but honestly, it doesn't matter. Don't matter. Didn't matter at all ever. They're in a lot of legal trouble right now, so they're trying to sort that one out. But that's okay. This is the first video of my vlog, and then hopefully they'll get nicer and we'll smooth along. But I do have some work to do right now, because I got a lot of complaints against Air Canada about being tossed out of the airplane on the 4th of July there in Toronto, after the hospital in Vancouver paid for my airplane ticket to get to Toronto, when they realized that they forcibly injected me on the 2nd of July by accident by telling me that I suffer from delusions, when I was telling them about all the evils that I had experienced in Vancouver. And they were saying, no, we don't want to investigate those. We'll just say you're delusional. So that's the crux of that. So then Air Canada just said, oh, this guy's a crackpot, let's throw him out. And since I can't get at the guys in Vancouver from Ontario, apparently, that's what everybody's telling me, I have to I don't have to get out of the sun right now, but I have to go at this with Air Canada's partnership. Plus they have the lawyers who can accurately word this politely and take them for the whole province. Thank you.